I'm Raga. This is Richard. We just met. We're at the Small World Festival in Kent, in the Garden of Eden, Garden of England. And we're getting very intimate with the Virgin Mary. This is the Virgin Mary. Richard is he's a new kind of Virgin Mary in scarlet, and this is the beautiful glitterous. The glitterous is the source of life. It's the source of birthing and pleasure, and where the birthing blood flows from. And I've got a feeling that when children go to greet Mary, the Virgin, in the church, and they see all those men around her, that they must suspect this isn't really how it was. And I think we should all get wise. Mary would have had women with her. Mary would have been midwifed by women. That was their culture. And she wouldn't always have been wearing blue and be looking down. And she wouldn't always have been separate from her child. Her child would have been on her breast at the Nativity. The Nativity was a sacred time, and what is more sacred than the child and the mother being close, and nourishment and communion between them. And when I see in the church at Christmas, that little pastiche, I feel very sad. Do you know what I mean? Yeah?
Very the same.
It's so patriarchal, you know? Patriarchal trip that we've had how many thousands of years telling us that the geezers rule. If you want to say anything about that and how you feel about that, Mary. If Mary wants to speak to us, and also to Pussy Riot, because I'm hoping that Pussy Riot are going to be watching this. Pussy, hi, Pussy. If Richard or the Virgin Mary would like to address Pussy Riot, please feel free.
Stay strong. Hang in there.
And be sensual. All of us. Let's combine the sacred and the sensual. Why not? Why do we have to be so detached? But isn't that our sickness? It's a kind of sickness that we have. And people like Putin, he's getting in the way of the true church and those patriarchs that represented this sacred. They're getting in the way of the true sacred. And we appeal to the Virgin Mary as a juicy, proud, courageous woman, just like Pussy Riot. And it's great to see you, great to feel you, great to be with you. And please never forget, the source of life is a woman's cunt. The most sacred place in the human body is where pleasure happens, and where birth happens, and where the bleeding happens. All praise the Virgin Mary. The goddess.
It's not painful.
Well, this is about reclaiming the witch power,
Yeah.
you know, and the midwife power, and the women who took care of each other.
Yeah.
And the men just went away while the women got on with it. And then we've got this. Oh look,
We've got a whole choir, so focus.
Oh, come,
and we're
come,
all singing
come.
Rose, 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 Red.
Come,
but we need,
come.
but
But are we singing the
We've
same
got a
song?
beautiful midwife.
Rose,
for us.
Rose, Rose,
We've got-
Rose.
This is Galadriel coming.
I'm
She's
a
midwife and they
I'm
go-
a postwife actually. I'm divorced. I'm a postwife.
Oh, postwife.
Yeah.
Yeah, just come and say hello to them.
Oh look, here's the baby that was delivered earlier. Look at
Yes,
this.
one we delivered
Here's one we
earlier.
delivered earlier. Look.
She was born in the festival.
Yeah.
No, it's when
She's
you
a festival babe. She's a festival babe. You can say it. This is Mum,
father.
Galadriel.
there.
You know, it's all about
Yes, this is Bonnie. And she was born on the 12th of August at Process Folk Week in a
when I'm old and grey,
tent.
when I'm old and grey, when you're dead.
This is Daddy.
Oh, Daddy, come on.
Daddy.
Daddy filled the water pool. Didn't you in time? It's Chris. It's 2 weeks today.
And Galadriel is a midwife. And there were other midwives there with you, yeah?
There were.
And
DIY.
Yes.
And can I ask you, you know, I've never asked this of Galadriel before, but when you see the nativity scene in the church, do you think it might be a little bit unbalanced? Because I noticed there are no midwives there, and you've got this lonely Mary sitting on a stool, like many feet away from her newborn babe.
Yes.
And is there any way that you would just put a newborn babe in a manger? I think that whoever invented that story, they were men and they didn't know very much about birthing.
But they didn't know much about the conception either, because it was
that's right.
yeah, they didn't. Yeah.
Okay.
They got that wrong as well, didn't they?
Yeah, and I
It
think
takes two.
Come round to
And I think these people that put themselves up as the authority on birth, they probably don't know very much about it, really. Because men didn't. At the time of the nativity, men, what would they know about anything to do with women? They were very separate. And this midwife, she knows what it is to have a beautiful, deep experience of birth, yeah?
It was beautiful, absolutely, and empowering, because you don't. If you're a low risk woman, and you're well supported, you're safer to have your baby away from the hospital.
I was born at home in a caravan.
Yes, really.
And then I didn't have a scan, which I don't know about you, but hardly anyone doesn't have scans these days. I've only met one other woman. Did you have a scan?
I did.
Because I just was prepared to accept whatever came out. I just thought if they had chosen to come to my life, they could have as many heads or legs as they liked. Yeah. But it took a lot of fighting, because I had to. There's somebody called Radical Midwives who helped me kind of campaign for that, because otherwise the whole system wants you to check that your baby is perfect and get rid of it if not, and it's eugenics, really.
Yes, I fully understand. Being a midwife.
Yeah.
And from the hospital where they were doing it, it was quite a challenge to have gone there. I did think about it. I did.
This is an example of beautiful synchronicity manifesting in this festival, because we didn't arrange to meet at this point, but here we are.
Yes. In the right place at the right time.
Yeah. And suddenly these beautiful singers have arrived to celebrate with us. We're celebrating birth and sensuous love.
And procreation. Yes. It's nice to have the cause.
An orgasm, an orgasm, an orgasm. Life is wonderful, and the way it was designed is not to be all separate and disconnected. It's about feeling and pulsing and blood flowing.
Feeling.
And not being disgusted twisted by the place where birth happens and where conception happens. How dare you church, how dare you teach disgust of the most sacred place on a human body, the most beautiful, powerful place. Welcome to the glitterous and the clitoris.
Glitterati, come to the party, glitterati.
And it's all right to laugh. You don't have to be solemn and sad. It's all right to laugh because we love laughter, don't we? We do. Don't we? Why not? Who said it was a sin to laugh? That little baby that you just saw, she came because people loved and laughed and played and were happy. Pussy Riot!
Are you under medical supervision for any reason? Did you go back?
It's like diving back in actually. It sort of looks quite kind of like you could almost. It's almost big enough, isn't it? So have a go.
Yes,
we all want to go back to the womb, don't we? Really?
Yeah, we do.
Actually.
Yes,
So here we
yes,
go.
you're so right.
Head first, the feet first.
Try, yeah.
I think I should dive in, shouldn't I?
She wants to go back.
I do. I want to go back to the womb. Yes. I think we all do probably because it's a very good place, isn't it? We recreate it, don't we? We create those safe places for ourselves.
We do.
Where we're nurturing and so on. I find,
Like the red tent as well, that sort of feeling, hasn't it? The womb-like, and that's, you know.
And I've seen a Finnish woman on YouTube, and she's made a beautiful cunt, and she has it on a kind of trolley on wheels, you know, and she takes it round Helsinki, and people can go in and come out.
Oh, lovely.
And it's a sacred experience of life and reconnecting with what it is to be a human being, not so.
And I really don't like it when people use cunt in a pejorative way, and I often feel like my mission is kind of to put the cunt back into our country, you know?
That's my mission too.
Yeah, definitely.
But we've never met or talked before. This is genuine. This is happening at a festival. Yeah, synchronicity.
Lots of words beginning with S. What else can we think of?
Sacred.
Sex.
Sacred. Sex.
Dive in.